Good morning and welcome to West Coast Grandma. Well, today we are going to build a salad. And I say that because right now there's so many things in the garden, so many shoots, so many tiny leaves, so many delicious things. So today I'm going to show you how I build a salad, different every time, and there's no recipe, but you just go up to your garden and you just start harvesting the good little leaves of all the different plants, and you end out with the most delicious salad ever. So we're going to head up to the garden and see what we can find today. As we're going up, just to show you, everything is so lush. I love everything right now. All the rhodos are finished and all need deadheading, which is a job I kind of hate doing. But anyways, they do look beautiful when they're all blooming. But look at all these, the Canterbury bells, everything. It's just beautiful. So we're going to head over to the greenhouse first and just see if there was anything in there. I think most of it's going to be in my big garden though. Check out all those apples. Yeah, it's going to be a good harvest. I did a pretty good job, I think, of pruning them this year, so I think we're going to get payback with a good harvest of apples. Well, I just gave my greenhouse quick water and we're going to actually head up to the garden, but this is the first year for me growing corn. Never done that before, and this is our little family patio, so I'm going to hopefully have a nice wall of corn. It just creates a bit of kind of privacy, feels like it's a little area. Here we go. Let's just head up to the garden here. Well, today is going to be a scorcher too. This is going to be the hottest day we've had so far this year. I think the high is 27, and of course I have to go to work to the marina at noon, so it's going to be a busy, hot shift down there. But for now, we're going to just take a little look around here and we're going to build ourselves a salad for supper. Okay, first things first, we start with lettuce. I'm almost out of lettuce that's ready to harvest right now. I'm growing some underneath my broccoli and cauliflowers that's in the shade, so it's a little protected, a little slower, but otherwise it's just going to bolt. So first of all, we're going to grab ourselves a lettuce. And there's a couple in here. Actually, no, there's just one. My last lettuce. This is all my peppers planted in here. It's my little pepper greenhouse. So I'm just gonna break this off and I'll come and clean up my mess later. But for now, I'm just gonna leave that in here. So there we are, look at that. There's the start of building a salad. Okay, next, we have some Swiss chard here. And of course, I don't want these great big leaves because we're building a salad and we're going to be eating it fresh. So I'm going to dig to the inside and I'm going to cut myself a couple of small spinach leaves. Now this is just for Richard and I, so we don't need a ton. So let me get a couple more. See, they're nice little, did I say spinach? I meant Swiss chard. Swiss chard leaves. All right. So there we go. That's going to do there. Now the other thing I have in this little bed right over here is celery. And I pulled a piece the other day and it's delicious. So I'm going to grab myself a couple of these little outer stalks of celery. Look at that. Perfect. So we'll add that to our salad that we're building. Good, so let's continue on and see what else I can find. Okay, now we're in another area of the garden and these are all peas. So we are going to get ourselves some pea shoots because they'll just keep coming back. So there's no issues about picking them and ruining our harvest for peas. We're just going to pick some shoots. So they're delicious. So we're going to pick some pea shoots here. Let me just take my little cutters. Just harvest little bits here and there, and you end out building the most delicious salad that everybody in the family is gonna love for sure. I have quite a few areas of peas, but this is just one that's getting closer to being ready. There's lots of shoots. There, I think that should be pretty good. So I have like 3 handfuls like that. We are going to move on, but first of all, I just want to show you the broccoli that's in here. Are you ready for this? Look at this broccoli. Today, I've already harvested, let's see, 2 big bowls, and I blanched them really quick for about a minute in salted water to help hold the color and just enhance the flavor a little. And I dumped them in cold water, and I've got them on trays in my freezer already. And I'm probably going to have, between that and the 1 bucket I already did, I should have enough broccoli for the whole year. So meanwhile though, I've got broccolis here I can be picking. Oh, they're just so good. Nothing beats homemade or homegrown broccoli. So we're going to continue on building our salad. On the subject though of broccoli, this is it's not sprouting broccoli, it was just a different variety. I'll find out the variety and put it up on the screen. But this one is the sort of cut and come variety. So I am going to grab myself a couple of little stalks of broccoli. Darn planes, I have to keep editing out the planes going over. Okay, there's a bunch down here. Just some little florets of broccoli. That's probably enough. So there we are, a little handful of broccoli. Alrighty, we'll pop that into our basket. Before I go, I also just found one little spear of asparagus that's still young. Pretty well the end of June. Pacific Northwest is good for harvesting asparagus, but mine have kind of all started going to seed, but this one's good. So we're gonna throw this one in too, and I love asparagus raw. Here we have borage. Now borage, I started 1 year with seeds and planted some plants, had them in the garden, and now every year they come up. I actually pull out a lot and leave them just in choice places. This one happened to come up in a pot that I had growing. So this is what we're picking. We're just taking off these little borage flowers. Now look at that. Look at those little flowers. The thing about these is they taste like cucumber. They're so good. And imagine that on the top of our salad. They're gonna look gorgeous. So we're gonna pick ourselves a dozen or so. The bees love them too. I'm sure that bees love purple. There we are. We have a handful of borage to go on top of the salad. While I'm here, there's one more thing. I have calendula. And calendula you can eat the whole flower, so all the petals. So what you do is you just pick it and then you just pull the petals off and you put them all in your salad. Now, some of them are bright orange, and yeah, they're beautiful too. These are, I love the color of these ones. This is just a different variety, but they're all edible. So I'm going to grab a couple of calendula flowers. Let's get another fresh one. And I'm going to pop that into my basket of goodies, and we're going to continue on. Before we go on to the next one here, I found an orange calendula. So we're going to add that to our basket, because they are pretty nice in a salad. So this is kale. Again, I've forgotten the variety. I'll write it up in the screen. And this one too is all volunteers. They came up all over the garden. And first of all, I was kind of upset about it. But then I figured this is kind of cool. So now I've been harvesting the small leaves when I want the plant to come out, because they're all throughout everything. It was in the soil, I guess, because my kale plants had gone to seed. And I guess they didn't break down enough in the compost, so I've been pulling out this particular variety of kale for the last 2 months. Well, actually, all winter I've been pulling it out. So this one, I'm going to pick a couple of leaves. We don't need very much because, like I say, we don't want to have enough salad to last for a week because we want to come out and do this again. This is what makes this time of year so wonderful in the garden, because we can just come out and pick whatever we want. I'm just going to pick some of these small leaves because everything here is raw. Of course, we're not going to cook anything. So there we go. There's a whole handful of kale. That's going to go into my basket. This is going to be so good. So we're going to move along to the next one. There's my garlic scape I just got. I have a whole bed of garlic right beside us here, but everybody knows what garlic looks like. So here's my garlic scape. I'll just take that end off and add that to my basket. what salad isn't a salad without a few fresh strawberries. So let's grab ourselves a few fresh strawberries in here. They're not that big this year, but they're still delicious. And actually, this is always my snack when I come up here. So let's grab a few here. And again, we don't need very many. We're just gonna slice them up. Add them to our salad. There. I think that's perfect. One other thing I missed is my little patch of green onions here. So we're just gonna grab a couple of green onions. There we are. Again, I'm just gonna snip these ends off while I'm out here. And I'm gonna break these off. So there we are. There's my spring onions or green onions for my salad. There are a few more things that are almost ready to harvest. This is my black currant bush. I love black currants. That is our favorite jam, black currant and rhubarb, which I picked rhubarb this morning and have it in my freezer until these are ready to be harvested. They're probably only about a week away. Over here, we have a big herb patch, but I'm not gonna add herbs today to my salad, but I mean, if we wanted to, we could. And over here, I have carrots, and I just checked, and they're not quite big enough to put in our salad. Be kind of a waste to pick one right now. And I was talking about the kale that just was coming up everywhere in my garden. This is some of it. See the kale right down here and there, and I think there's some mixed in there. Yeah, right over there near that foxglove. And again, I'm gonna be able to harvest those for us to eat. So I did leave some in, and I'm kind of glad I did. Anyway, there's my, look at the chamomile. That's the other big thing I'm doing at the moment, is getting all my batches of dried mint and spearmint, and Korean basil is the thing for me this year. It's licorice flavor. I love licorice tea. So that I'm going to be putting together to make some tea blends for winter. One last thing I'm going to pick is I have 4 zucchini plants. I have them in the same bed as my loofahs, and a bunch of the potatoes that came up that I guess got left in the ground from last year. But in my zucchini bed here, I actually have 1 zucchini. There it is. First zucchini of the year. I'm going to harvest that one, and we are going to take that in with us because we're just going to cook up some chicken tonight, and we're going to be having this delicious home-built salad. What more could you ask for? So here we are in my kitchen, and I've just separated all these little bits of things, and I've just got them soaking in water. I'll throw my onions in there too for a little bit, because it is, I think, about 25 degrees out right now, and things are wilting pretty quick. So there we are. Now, one thing I have to say is you have to wash your lettuce carefully. I made a really big mistake of, we had a family thing for our birthday a couple of weeks ago. And I had a bag of lettuce that I kind of grabbed out of the garden in the fridge. Forgot that I didn't really wash it that well. My daughter separated it up pretty quick, was busy talking and didn't really pay attention while all the kids were eating little tiny baby slugs. And that is not a good thing for kids. It's not a good way to encourage them to eat things out of the garden. So make sure that you wash your lettuce well. I'm gonna get my spinner out, and we are gonna start putting this salad together. So I've already started the lettuce. I'm just breaking it up. It's all clean, and we're gonna give it a quick spin in my spinner. There we go. Good. And we're gonna pop the lid on. Give it a little spin. Oh, see, that's quite a bit. It's gonna last us for a couple of days. We have our asparagus, which is just going to be cut into chunks. We're just going to throw everything on. And like I say, these spring onions, we'll chop these up. Pop all those on. Alrighty, next we'll take our broccoli. And again, I'm just going to chop it up because although the big pieces taste good, we don't want too big of a chunk in our salad. There we are, broccoli. And let's see, some Swiss chard leaves. Roughly chop them up. This is Bright Lights Swiss chard. You can see by the colors of the stems. They really are. It's a pretty variety. There we go. Oh, garlic scape. Let's chop that one up. Because the nice thing about the garlic scapes is they are nice and mild. Like, they're really just kind of a cross between an onion and garlic. So next we have our celery. Look at that. I'm excited to have celery. Celery has been something I've had a hard time growing, and I'm going to keep these. I keep a bag in my fridge freezer right here, and anything like this that's left over after I've chopped it up and used what I needed, I put into that bag. So then when I make either bone broth or a soup, I will take some of this out and use it, and it's perfect. So let's just chop up my, there we go, celery. All right, I have our other varieties of kale, and there we go. And our pea shoots, which are so good. I mean, peas are probably one of the best things in the garden, to just go out and eat peas. In fact, we eat so many of them in the garden, they never make it back to the kitchen. But that's what these taste like. They're just fresh peas. There we go. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of a mix. Like, this is gonna be so good. All right, now I'm gonna put this here so you can see it. I'm gonna just take the tops off my strawberries, and I'm gonna slice those up on top. This is fun. It's fun to see what you can create, because like I say, when you're doing it this way, no salad is repeated for a couple of days in a row, because everything is changing in the garden all the time. I mean, I'll be having cucumbers soon, pea pods. You could pick a few small cabbage leaves, and there's so many edible things. There's nasturtiums, you can put the leaves, the flowers. So anyway, there's all my strawberries sliced on top. And when I was walking by the raspberry patch, I found 2 raspberries. We'll add those. And I'm not going to put the zucchini in because I've decided I might just saute that for our dinner. So there we are. Now, calendula leaves. Like, this is fit for a king or a queen, whatever. And my borage flowers. Now, where could you get a salad like this? In what restaurant? Like, do you think you could get one? I don't know, I don't think so. I'm gonna use all these leaves just because they're so pretty. Alrighty. Now, I know it's not out of my garden, but I love a little bit of sweetness in the salad, so I am going to put a handful of dried cranberries on this. And also, I know it's Costco, but a handful of the salad topping, because I also like the very crunchy, nutty taste. So I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get those. So there we go. I've put the dried cranberries and the salad topper. And there you have a home-built salad. I hope you'll try it. You don't need a recipe, and you can't go wrong. If you have half the ingredients I had here today, it's still gonna be delicious. The borage, these little borage flowers grow all year if you keep picking them. So all summer you can have those. The calendula are all year. I don't even have tomatoes in this because, of course, as Jessica Soward says on Roots and Refuge Farm, tomatoes from the grocery store are a disappointment. So I do not even bother with tomatoes at this time of year. But hope you've enjoyed this, because I just really want you to go give it a try if your garden is starting to sprout all the new vegetables. As for a salad dressing, I am just gonna mix up some mayonnaise, olive oil, and some herbs that I really like, with some salt and pepper, and you've got your salad dressing. But there it is. Hope you've enjoyed this, and hope you'll give it a try. West Coast Grandma is signing out.